Welcome back, everyone, to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 5, Episode 1 of War of the Rings, 2nd Edition. We are playing today with the Lords of Middle-earth expansion, as well as the Warriors of Middle-earth expansion. So we're fast-forwarding through the board setup. I'll do a quick flyover of some of the minis we've got on the board. We have all the factions from Warriors of Middle-earth, so we'll call those out, and then we'll jump into round number 1. So quick flyover of the board. We've got the Mordor, Forces of Darkness, as well as the Easterlings, Sutherlands. We've got Gondor, as well as Helm's Deep minus Tirith. We've got Mirkwood. We've got the Elves, Ents and Fangorn. We've got the Riders of Rohan, and you can see the Dwarves up in the north. We've got the Fellowship as well. All the minis set up across the board, Eagles, and we will jump into round number 1 shortly. But first, a quick shout out to this channel's sponsor. Pontos Fathom Hobbies is brought to you by the books that we produce. We've got a bookstore down in the description. You check the link out and you can find books like The Genealogy of Cthulhu, Hermeticism of Hastur, The Alchemy of Azathoth, and The Necromancy of Nyarlathotep. Those and others collected together in the 6-volume omnibus Catu Journals out of Lovecraft's Providence. We've also got Artificial Psychoanalysis of Desiring Machines, Alchemy and Anthroposophy, and the Dune Saga, where we deep dive into what makes Frank Herbert's Dune original saga amazing. And there's also Esoteric Saturn Mysteries and our Dragon Mysteries from our podcast series on the sister channel, Pontos Fathom Press. And in Esoteric Anthroposophy and Occulted History, we talk about Tolkien as well. Finally, we've got our new saga out based on Lovecraft's Dreamlands. It's the Alchemical Courtship in the Dreamlands Volume 1, Aim Aimless, Aim Vicious, featuring the Dreamland city of Cellophase. The next volume coming out will be Hope's Home, Mysterious Heart, which focuses on Daleth Leen. And then we've got coming later in the year, Stubborn Devotions, Inventing and Forgiving, and Beloved, Believed, Bedailed, which feature the Temple of Hypnos and Lost Carcosa. Now back into the gameplay. Thank you guys for watching. Check out our Patreon, like and subscribe, and let's get into the next turn. Okay, so we're playing with both expansions. As I mentioned, we've got the main game. We've got Lords of Middle-earth and Warriors of Middle-earth. For Warriors of Middle-earth, all the factions, although they're not activated yet, we actually have to activate them to get them on the board. I've just gone ahead and placed, like, for example, I've got the Corsairs here on the board. I've got the Ghost Army in Eric. I've got the Fangorn Ents. I've got the Hillmen. I've got the Eagles. So I've just left the starting components on the board, actually just to keep myself remembering that they have to be activated. But we'll activate them by putting the card on the table. That's how we'll play that. We've also got all of the newest figures from all the expansions. Everything's painted. Actually, if you guys want to go check through our paint through video, we've got some batch paint throughs for each of the games. So go check those out in the link. And without further ado, let's jump into round number 1. Okay, so we've got everything placed. Let's jump into round number 1. We're just going to start out by getting our event cards drawn. So we'll grab one from each deck for the Shadow player, one from each deck from Fellowship player. Let's see what we've got. We've got the Kindred of Glorfindel. We've got By Chance or Foresight. And then we have Premonition of Danger. And then we've got Servants of Sauron, Pits of Mordor, The Lore of the Elven Rings. Got it. Okay. So let's go ahead and place our Fellowship phase. So we're going to just move our fellowship phase 1. So our fellowship starts, we're going to use the Frodo and the Frodo and Sam as the last position of the fellowship. They're going to start out in fellowship starts out in I believe they start out in Rivendell. So we just place them in Rivendell, but then they're one space out from Rivendell with 1. So that's going to be that. Then we can go ahead and jump into the hunt allocation. Shadow player now place a die in the hunt box. Let's give them 1 hunt. Place 1 eye here in the hunt box. Action dice. So we're rolling our action dice next. Go ahead and get our dice here. 5. Okay, so let's roll these. Okay, so let's start out with our dice allocations here. We can do character leader moves, attacks armies. Let's go ahead and we need to, I want to get diplomatic action. Move the political track of one nation 1 step forward for a muster. So let's go ahead and take this muster here. This is a muster, and we will, so there's another muster there. So we'll move 1 muster back, and we're going to move the elves down 1 on the war track. And we'll do the same thing for the shadow player. We'll move this down as well. So that's 1 each. Let's go with the event card, leader card, play an event card. Do we have any leader? No, we do have Will of the West. Will of the West, all dice showing the eye must be placed in the hunt box. We've got no dice with the eye. Let's go ahead and with army, we can move the army. Let's move the army of the North Dunland down to Dunland. And we'll move the army of Nora to Gorgoroth. That's 2 army moves. Let's go back to the free folk player. Let's have them change one of their Will of the Wests to we'll change it to a muster. No. I play the net card muster. Recruit reinforcements for nations at war. Sure, let's recruit reinforcements for nations at war. Recruit reinforcements, 1 elite unit in a friendly or free settlement. How do we get them at war? We'll have to look that up in the next turn. We have the elves are at war. Oh, only for at war. Only for nations at war. So we can only move. We cannot join those yet. So let's change this Will of the West to let's see, who can we move together here? Let's move this to a army. Let's move this army into Minas Tirith, and we can also move this army down into Helm's Deep in the Fords of Isen. So that gets rid of this army. We'll also move our army again with we've got a crystal ball, draw an event card, or play an event card. Let's see, if we look at our event cards, we can do, if Sauron is at war, well, let's go ahead and muster and make Sauron at war, right? So let's go ahead and have Sauron, we're going to use a muster to bring them to war. So this muster will go to bring them now. So Sauron is at war. We'll now use a muster to bring the elves one step closer to war. That was not a muster, this muster. Leader, let's have let's move well, because they're at war, we can recruit one leader or one regular leader. Let's grab I'm going to grab a Nazgul. I'm going to recruit a Nazgul and bring it into Orthanc. And that's going to be a leader character. And then we have draw an event card or use an event card. Let's see our event cards. We've got recruit one elven unit in Rivendell, then draw one strategy event card. I guess let's move them. Let's move the elves to war. We'll move the elves to war as well, and then we will play a. Before the action resolution begins, any keeper of the Elven Rings results in an eye. So let's place this on the table. The lore of the Elven Rings. We'll play that on the table. And we'll remove one of these. And if Sauron is at war, we got one more. Let's play the Kindred of Glorfindel. Kindred of Glorfindel. We can recruit one elven unit, regular or elite, in Rivendell. So let's recruit one elite into Rivendell here. And we'll discard this, and then we draw one strategy card. I'll grab one. And we got Dane's Ironfoot Guard, so we can discard this one. And that's our last one. And then we'll play one more card. Servants, Pits of Mordor. If Sauron is at war, recruit 2 Sauron regular units into each of 3 different Sauron strongholds. It's pretty wild. So we'll get 3 Sauron units. So we can put 2 units into each of 3 areas. So let's put 2 in. Let's put 2 into Moranon. Let's put 2 into Minas Morgul. And let's put 2 into Gorgoroth. Okay, so we've expanded on some troops. We've got some reinforcements in place. We've played all of our actions. Action resolution. We've played all of our action dice. That's going to wrap it up for round number 1. We will see you guys in round number 2. Thank you for watching. A little slow start, but we will get into it as we go along. The Fellowship has moved out 1, and we'll see you guys in the next round. Thank you for watching.